Well, is he? Karl Rove, he joins us live on set, Fox News contributor and former deputy chief of staff, a fine Texan, but he knows a thing or two about Kentucky too. Obstructionist who accomplishes nothing is what someone referred to Thomas Massie to me as. But given the amount of money spent, how's it play out, you think?
Well, it's, you know, he's got a base in that district. It's 21 counties along the Ohio River. He's been there for over a decade. It would be tough to knock him off, but the amount of money and the ire of the president are probably going to get him tonight. We'll know soon enough. Massie, unlike a lot of Republicans who may disagree with the president on an issue, strays from the party on rules. When you want to take a bill to the floor, you have to send a provision through the Rules Committee to set up the parameters of the debate on the House floor. And even if you don't like the bill, if you're a Republican, you're expected to vote for the rule, for what the Republicans on the Rules Committee have decided. He votes against the rules, votes with the Democrats. And this is what's really got the ire of his colleagues. Republican colleagues who may say, I agree with him on this or that, say, I never agree with him on realizing that he's not a team member and he has to vote for the rule.
It seems as though he's almost ignoring the nuclear threat in Iran, which he seems to tout a lot.
He's a neo-isolationist and has never been a fan of Israel either.
Is this an ideology problem for him, or is it just going against the president?
No, it's ideological. Look, the president's wrong. He's a libertarian, so he doesn't like America to be involved abroad. He's not pro-military, pro-defense. He's against foreign aid and military aid. He's been persistent and consistent on those issues over the years. So got to give him credit. The president's gotten upset with him, and he's been the president twice while Massie's been in the Congress, but he's obviously fed up and had enough. And a lot of people who are in the Republican Party have said we've got to cleanse this guy because it borders on, his comments about Israel border on anti-Semitic.
For sure.
Yeah. But I will stand by what that person said. Obstructionist who accomplishes nothing. Like, what are we paying you for? You're voting against the rule. You can't. You're voting with the Democrats. On this, big news today. President Trump has endorsed Ken Paxton over sitting Senator John Cornyn in the Texas race for the Republican nomination. In that race, they run against whomever. It's a week away. Early voting's already started.
Yeah, I voted yesterday.
What do you make of this? Did you see it coming?
You know, I'm shocked because he could have done this earlier and tens of millions of dollars would not have been spent. And instead he has jumped in here 6 days before the election. And we'll see. I mean, the polls have showed this race pretty close, but they've showed Paxton's image deteriorating because he's got so many scandals surrounding him. He's to be divorced by his wife for biblical reasons. After 3 girlfriends and mistresses, she decided that was enough. And he responded in his divorce by saying she doesn't get a nickel. And he's gotten rich while he's in office. Nobody knows exactly how he made all that money. And he's got a terrible record because he has been, in essence, in bed with not only his mistresses, but a corrupt business guy who went to jail for whom he did favors in return for hiring one of his girlfriends and paying $200,000 to renovate his home in Austin. You can expect the Democrats will spend, if he becomes the nominee, hundreds of millions of dollars to grab the thing that has been denied to them since 1994, and that is a statewide victory for a Democrat in Texas.
I mean, it sounds like his legal troubles almost make him
he was
unelectable.
Yeah, he was impeached by the Texas House, the Republican House, barely scraped by from getting removed from office in the Senate. But I mean, the Democrats are going to be throwing mud at him if he is the nominee. I'm not convinced he is going to be the nominee. I think the president has made a bad judgment here, and we'll see how it all comes out.
You think Cornyn's still the underdog today?
Well, Cornyn before today was slightly ahead, and the image of Paxton, particularly in the last couple of weeks, has been declining in the polling because you know a lot of this stuff is new and people are hearing it for the first time. But let me tell you, the Democrats, if he is the nominee, will start spending early and often in order to drive this message home.
Well, Tallarico, the Democrat, who will be one of their Democrat opponents, he doesn't think they're two genders.
They're 6.
Right.
As he says.
I was going to say, if you don't think they're two genders, you might as well think they're 106. And God is non-binary, and then he thinks that he's met some atheists and agnostics even who are more Christ-like than some of the Christians I serve with in the Texas legislature. Doesn't that just knock him out in the
Maybe,
in the Lone Star State?
if it was Cornyn could be going after him every day on these kind of things. He's also declared that he had the first vegan campaign, official vegan campaign, because we need to reduce our consumption of meat, which in a cattle state like Texas is not particularly popular. But
that's blasphemy.
On the other side, he will be able to go, if Paxton is the nominee, after Paxton every single day. So you get to choose, do you like the guy who says the crazy, weird things, or do you dislike the guy who is corrupt more? And that's going to be an ugly contest and expensive and not helpful. Even if Paxton were to win, it's going to reduce the Republican margins in critical House and state legislative races down the line.
Can established Republicans still win in their state primaries?
Sure. Yeah. But, you know, Paxton has been a loyal ally for the president. He's filed every lawsuit that the president wanted. He was the guy who said, as the Attorney General of Texas, I'm going to sue Arizona for the conduct of your elections, which lasted about 10 seconds in the federal court, saying, what does the Attorney General of Texas think he has any authority over the elections in Arizona? But he got the headline out of it.
He did.
Karl Rove, rocking and rolling. Great to see you, sir.
Great. Thank